I think this one sets apart from the others in the sense that it brings really all the three big kind of parties into the table. It brings the big corporates, it brings the investors and the VCs, and it brings the startups. And I think that a lot of the players that are here are pretty much kind of the ones that are setting the agenda for the next few years. So I think it's a great way to see a glimpse into the future. I think a lot of things are happening in food tech now. I think the industry is changing, as we all know. Innovation cycles are much shorter. There's a lot of new startups coming into the industry. A lot of them are getting traction. Consumer preferences are changing quite quickly. And I think from that perspective, a lot of the big companies these days need to focus on healthier portfolios, getting to market faster. Distribution channels are changing, so a lot of the things we're needing to do is now leverage alternative channels. And I think that trend is going to continue in the upcoming years. I think we're going to see also more and more technologies coming from other industries into food tech. So meaning if it's blockchain for transparency, big data and AI helping solve big consumer problems. And I think that trend we're going to see happening more and more. And also on the entrepreneur side, we're going to see more entrepreneurs coming from adjacent expertise such as pharma, biotech, and basically pivoting into food and bringing some of those expertise into the food tech industry. I think, first of all, there's never been a better time to be a startup entrepreneur in the food industry than today, because I think that consumers like to work with food, they like to buy small food brands. I think distribution channels enable foods brands today to talk directly to consumers, and a lot of retailers are open to work with small startups. But at the end of the day, I think for a startup to get quickly traction, I think is the number one thing is actually to understand what problem they're solving, and assuming they're solving an unmet consumer need in a good way. I think that's going to be a long way out. And I think the second thing is just putting themselves out there, starting to sell, getting feedback from consumers, improving, and then scaling up. I think scaling is important, but I think we see a lot of startups that sometimes scale up too quickly, and then things go wrong. So I think it's always kind of just getting the learning, scaling, iterating, scaling more and more. And of course, at the end, either becoming a big independent company or getting bought by a big company like ourselves or some of our peer companies. Yeah, I mean, I think there's some big fundamental problems in the industry that I think we all need to work together, you know, big food companies, investors, government, policymakers, and we are all working together. If it's, you know, more sustainable packaging, we came up with an announcement a few days ago that we're moving all our packaging to be sustainable and recyclable by 2025, and a lot of our peer companies. The same is about food waste, the same about improving our nutritional profile, reducing sugar. We also announced that we're going to launch next year our chocolates in the UK, like the beloved Cadbury Dairy Milk with 30% less sugar. So these are the right things to do for consumers, and these are things that we all need to work together as an industry, and we're doing that, and hopefully we'll continue to do that.